Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ezinne Ajah. If you're getting to know me for the first time, welcome back to my channel. I am a Nigerian YouTuber based in Abuja. So on this video, we have a very educative topic to talk about. We have so many juicy things to talk about. So if you want to be educated on things concerning law, I will advise you to just not click out and keep watching.
J5 on the Weezer still.
If you have a nuisance in your premises, the landlord has a right to draw your attention to the nuisance, and then the nuisance has to abate. What is nuisance? What is recurring persistently? If you are doing a birthday party and you play music, whether you informed him or not, he comes to see the whole premises is noisy. He says, sorry, landlord, today is my birthday. My friend gave me a surprise. We are doing a party. In no time, we'll be done. They cannot constitute nuisance because it's not consistent. It's not continuing.
Okay.
It is just one of 10. But if you put a poultry farm beside a residential premises and the neighbors are complaining, we can't stand this odor and what have you, that is nuisance because it's consistent and persistent and continuing. So the landlord has the right to approach you and say, this is this. Of course, go to environmental department of your locality or as well, bring the almighty police and let them know there is a problem. You settle it, it goes. But in the case of putting jerry can that has fuel inside it in the residential places, of course, it's inflammable. You, the tenant, will not even be at safe. You're also putting yourself at a risk. The landlord is something. They too have a right to ask you to remove it. Nothing that is not contained in the covenant of the tenancy agreement will result in your delivering possession. Nothing. I said nothing. If you have a tenancy agreement and they give you the covenants, what we call covenants, the areas you agree. The landlord will do this, the tenant will do this, will collectively do this. If there is a breach of that contract, there is a consequence in that particular. They say, you will deliver our possession. It's not automatic as well. That don't do this, and I did it. You don't come and stop me. You still go to court and say, due to contravention of clause D of our tenancy agreement, I am seeking the court to deliver our possession, to ask the occupant or the tenant to deliver our possession of the premises because of this. It's a matter of fact. If you prove your case, the court will grant you the judgment. If you are unable to prove it, it stays like that. But I will only advise that in a place you are residing, there should be absolute quietude. It should be peaceful so that you too will enjoy it. The landlord is a businessman. He's into estate contracts. You are a businesswoman. You are into estate contracts. The landlord is not doing you a favor by building a house for you to live in, and you're not doing a landlord any favor by hiring his house to live in. It's purely business. So at that realm is what we call estate contract. You're not down, he's not up. You are on a level playing ground of a relationship, landlord, tenant. So if a landlord is disturbing your quiet possession of the premises, you too should go to court. Okay. And of course, seek damages to say, you have breached my quiet possession by always coming to constitute nuisance. I have a boyfriend and the guy comes, he brings in dollars, he brings in euro, he brings in pounds. And each time you come to quarrel, the man goes with that. I have lost any. You pay me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here, I still want to know this too because I know that a whole lot of people wants to know too. Can a landlord increase rent without an appropriate reason or notice? Like, they just wake up from the blues and tell you that they are increasing rent without maybe giving you like a year notice or 2 years notice, something like that. Just I honestly want to know, and I know that a whole lot of people
want to know. Yes, I had already said that the issue of tenancy is estate contract. Okay. And in every contract, there must be what we call consensus addendum. The two minds must agree on a particular transaction. The landlord made an offer because in the tenancy agreement we have what we call option of review of rent there, either downward or upwards, depending on improvements. What we call improvement is there is a renovation in the premises.
Okay.
Maybe there is a renovation that attracted extra value to the house. Again, the high cost of living, the standard of living in a particular area or locality can necessitate increase in rent. Of course, the landlord will make an offer. By the grace of God, I want to increase my rent from 1 naira to 2 naira. It will take effect so time. If you do not want to abide by it, look for alternative accommodation. It's an offer. However he gets to you, either by telephone call, by WhatsApp message, or SMS, or face-to-face discussion, or he wrote you through his lawyer or her lawyer, you too should make your own input by giving either acceptance or a counter offer or a rejection, because it's a contract. You say, Mr. Landlord, the same circumstance you are in, that you are telling me things are hard, in the same circumstance I am, things are hard for me. Instead of this, I go for this. That's an offer. Two of you will agree, okay, I have an additional increase of 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, as the case may be. When you agree, it becomes a new contract of that tenancy. So the landlord has a right to say, my house is going for this amount. You too have a right to say, I cannot take this house for this. It will be very bad of you. The tenancy you hired is subsisting. And if it endures, you don't want to pack out. The landlord will go to court and continue with the same process of recovering his premises. You don't remain there and say, I will not pay. I will remain here. It is no longer a state contract. It becomes a contract when the new increase is communicated to you, you respond. You respond by acceptance, you respond by rejection, you respond by leaving the place. When the one you have hired or taken expires. So at every point in time, a tenancy is renewable. It might be what they say year-to-year tenancy until it is determined. Determined, remember I told you, to determine a subsisting tenancy means you give a notice for the person to quit.
Okay. I have had cases of quit notice, and they give you 3 months to look for a house. If you don't get to find a house, they will give you extra 3 months. I want to, can you share more?
Like
Like,
notice to quit does not stop you from paying for what you are using. It is erroneous. People, when they receive quit notice, say, you gave me notice. What do you mean? You want me to come and pay again? Yes, you will pay. Because the word is notice. I'm informing you by the time you have, the endured this tenancy you take and yours, you shall leave my house. But the appropriate thing to do is to give notice when the current tenancy is subsisting. I'll give you an example. If you enter a premises in January, by 12 calendar months, it will be December. So you take January to December to be your current tenancy. And the man desires to recover that premises at the end of December when your tenancy may have expired. He gives you notice in June, so that by December, the notice would have been 6 months notice because you are a yearly tenant.
okay.
Anything short of 6 months notice is invalid notice. He will either wait for the whole of December, January to December, to renew. After the first week of January the next year, he will give you 7 days statutory notice to say, you took a rent of 1 year. It has expired. But he has to prove that what you took was 1 year certain. In other words, it's not in doubt. It was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. After 1 year, after 2 years, I leave your house. You prove that is the position. There are so many ways to prove it. You can write on their receipt, received from ABC, tenant, for 1 year certain, beginning from January 1 to December 31st.
Okay. Once that notice is given to you for eviction before 6 months or before the year elapses, and you fail not to get a new apartment, what will be the situation of the tenant?
Yeah, if you are owing the landlord of the one that expired, we call it rent arrears. You are compelled to pay, except the man forgives you to say, okay, you can go with your trouble, just leave my house. If he didn't say so, you will pay. But if they give you notice and it expired, the landlord will go to court and get what we call owner's intention to recover possession. The quit notice and owner's intention to recover possession, these two documents should come from the landlord himself or his lawful attorney, not the court. The court process starts from what we call summons.
Okay.
So if you are unable to get a new accommodation, you still communicate to your landlord. As I said, it's a contract. Landlord, I am unable to get a new accommodation. Can you allow me stay for 1 month? I'll pay. The man says, okay, I'll give you 1 month, don't pay me. Or I give you 2 months, you have to pay me. It is also a contract. So now, there's what we call that a particular agreement or transaction is in writing. And there's another one we say it is evidenced in writing. We have oral agreement, and I made a SMS to you. You responded. It's evidenced in writing, but our agreement was not in writing. So the one we put in writing is two of us are aware. We put it in writing, and each party signed. Of course, every evidence you bring before the court must be texted, sieved, cross-checked to see whether it is correct, verifiable facts. So there are times a landlord will give an invalid notice and insist on the person leaving the premises. The tenant has a right to approach the same court and say, no, I'm not leaving because my tenancy has not expired. He gave me notice in November instead of May or June. I remember the law said not less than 6 months. But there are situations in the tenancy agreement you agree, I will not give you 6 months notice. I will only give you 1 month notice. If you agree, it becomes the law. That one will be law. The one of 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 1 week operate when two of you don't have a written agreement. If you have a written agreement that is not contrary to public policy, public morality, public safety, of course, that agreement will be relied upon by the court. It will bind you. So the tenant is not incapacitated in a tenancy agreement. That is what I'm stressing. You are not incapacitated if you lawfully enter into a premises. You should be lawfully ejected, not taking the law into your hand. The tenant has a right to a lawyer. The landlord has a right to a lawyer.
Does the lawyer or caretaker have the right to come and remove your lights, your social amenities in that apartment just because people are in a conflict of leave this premises, don't leave, I don't want to leave this premises, I don't want to leave this
No, not even the landlord, the agent, the privy, howsoever described, doesn't have any right to go and remove your water, your light, lock your toilet, lock your walkway. All the easements and appurtenances belong to you until the court says so. They don't have the right to do so.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank
God
you very much.
bless you.
Do you have extra thing to tell people when it comes to law and how to go about it?
I want to advise people self-medication is dangerous and it kills. Anything you want to do, look for the experts in that particular field. Law is a very complex thing, but a lawyer is a social engineer. His responsibility or her responsibility is to make sure he or she builds bridges across human relationships to reduce conflict. If you have any issue, consult a lawyer of your choice. Pay your lawyer, let him do the job. If he doesn't do it, pay him off, get another person. That is my advice to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me.
God bless you.
And I hope you guys were able to enjoy this video, not just enjoying it, but be extra educated, because I know that so many people do not know what to do in situations like this. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't fail to like, comment, share, because I know that most people will want to watch and get educated. And leave your comments too, because most definitely I will read your comments and get back to him if there's any other thing you want to know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.